Imagine never being hungry again. Not for one day, not ever. You wake up in the morning and you don't think about breakfast because you don't need it. You walk outside, you find a patch of sunlight, and you just stand there. And as the light touches your skin, your body quietly gets to work, turning that sunlight directly into energy. No food, no cooking, no money spent, no animals killed, just you, the sun, and a full tank. This isn't a fantasy. There is a living thing doing this exact trick outside your window right now. It's called a plant. Every blade of grass, every tree, every weed pushing up through the pavement is running one of the most powerful pieces of technology in the entire universe, the ability to eat sunlight. We call it photosynthesis. And for hundreds of years, humans have looked at it and quietly wondered the same thing. Why not us? We are the smartest species on this planet. We split the atom. We landed on the moon. And yet, to stay alive, we still have to do the most primitive thing imaginable. Hunt down other living things, kill them or pull them from the ground, shove them into our mouths, and grind them up. A plant just stands in a field and drinks the light. So what if we could do the same? What if you could photosynthesize? The answer is one of the strangest in all of biology. Because nature already tried this, and what it reveals about your body is genuinely bizarre. Let's start with how the magic actually works. Inside every green leaf are millions of tiny green machines called chloroplasts. They contain a pigment called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is green for one specific reason. Sunlight is made of many colors. Chlorophyll greedily absorbs the red light and the blue light, and uses that energy to power a chemical reaction. But green light is useless to it, so it bounces it straight back. That reflected green light is the only reason plants look green to you at all. You are, quite literally, only seeing the color of light that plants threw away. With the energy it does absorb, the plant performs a kind of alchemy. It takes water from its roots, carbon dioxide from the air, the very gas you breathe out, and it slams them together using sunlight to build sugar. Pure food assembled out of light and air and water. And as a bonus, a waste product is released. That waste product is oxygen. Every single breath you have ever taken was plant garbage. The air in your lungs right now is the leftover trash of 4 billion years of plants eating sunlight. So here's the obvious question. If it's that good, why didn't evolution give it to animals? Why are we stuck hunting and chewing while the trees just sunbathe? And here's the first answer that nobody expects. It's a problem of size, and specifically a problem of maths. It comes down to the difference between your surface and your volume. A plant is mostly flat. Think about a tree. It grows wide, sprawling networks of thin, flat leaves, all desperately reaching out to catch as much light as possible. A leaf is basically all surface and almost no thickness, because surface is where the sunlight lands. Now look at yourself. You are not flat. You are a thick, dense, compact lump of a creature. You have a huge, hungry volume of muscle and organs and brain crammed inside a relatively small amount of skin. And that is the killer problem. The amount of energy you can collect depends on your surface, your skin, but the amount of energy you need depends on your volume. Everything packed inside you. As any creature gets bigger, its volume grows far, far faster than its surface does. A human is so thick and so hungry that the thin layer of skin wrapped around the outside could never, ever collect enough sunlight to power the enormous engine running underneath it. Scientists have actually done this maths, and the results are almost funny. If a human could photosynthesize through their skin, an adult standing in full midday sun, with not a single cloud in the sky, would generate roughly enough energy to power a single dim light bulb. That's it. You need around 2,000 calories a day just to exist. Photosynthesis through your skin might give you a tiny handful. You would starve to death standing in the brightest, sunniest field on Earth. But let's say we wanted to fix that. Let's say we wanted to gather enough light anyway. Well, then you run straight into the second problem, and it's even worse. To collect enough sunlight, you would need to be flat. Catastrophically flat. Scientists have estimated that to power a human body on sunlight alone, a person would need a surface area of green, light-absorbing skin somewhere in the region of the floor of a small house. You would have to unfold yourself into a vast, thin, leaf-shaped sheet of a creature, dozens of square meters wide, just to break even. And picture what that actually means. You couldn't be a compact, fast, powerful animal anymore. You'd have to be a thin green carpet. You couldn't run. You couldn't hunt. You couldn't chase anything, or escape anything, or build anything. You would have to live exactly the way a plant lives, rooted to one bright spot, utterly still, completely at the mercy of anything that wanted to walk up and eat you. To gain the sun, you would have to give up your entire body. You would have to stop being an animal at all. And that, right there, is the deepest reason this never happened. There is a fundamental fork in the road of life, a choice made billions of years ago. You can be a plant. Slow, still, safe in your patch of light, asking nothing of the world but sunshine. Or you can be an animal, fast, hungry, mobile, free to go anywhere and do anything, but cursed to spend your whole life chasing your next meal. You cannot be both. The price of moving is hunger. The price of freedom is the hunt. But here is where it gets truly fascinating, because nature, as it turns out, did try to cheat. There are a handful of incredible animals that have smuggled photosynthesis into their bodies anyway, and they are some of the strangest creatures alive. There is a sea slug called Elysia chlorotica. As a young slug, it eats algae, but it doesn't fully digest it. Instead, it steals the tiny green chloroplasts out of the algae and stores them inside its own body. And then it turns green, lies in the sunlight, and lives for months feeding partly on light, like a leaf that learned to crawl. A solar-powered animal. It exists. It's real. There's a species of giant clam that farms algae inside its own flesh, growing in dazzling electric blues and greens, the algae feeding the clam, and the clam giving the algae a safe, sunny home. There are corals that do the same. Entire coral reefs, some of the largest living structures on the planet, are partly powered by sunlight through the algae living inside them. There's even a type of salamander whose eggs strike a deal with algae, the embryos glowing faintly green as they develop. Life has reached for the sun over and over again, but notice the pattern. Every single creature that pulled it off is small, or slow, or simple, or spends its life barely moving. Not one of them is a big, fast, complicated animal like you. The closer a creature gets to the sun, the more it has to surrender to get there. So where does that leave us, standing in our sunny field, dreaming of never being hungry again? It leaves us exactly where evolution decided we should be. We will never photosynthesize because we made a different bet a billion years ago, and it's the best bet any creature on Earth has ever made. We chose movement. We chose hunger. And hunger, it turns out, is not a weakness. Hunger is the engine of everything. A plant in a field is safe and fed and free, and it will never go anywhere, never build anything, never wonder about the stars. It is fed precisely because it gave up. We are hungry because we didn't. Every meal you have ever chased, every animal we ever hunted, every field we ever planted, every shop and farm and kitchen humans have ever built, all of it grew out of that one relentless, gnawing pressure to find the next meal. The hunger that a plant escaped is the exact same hunger that drove us out of the caves, across the oceans, and all the way to the moon. We didn't get to drink the sunlight, but we got something stranger and far more powerful instead. We got the restlessness to go and find it for ourselves. So the next time you feel that familiar pang in your stomach, that quiet, ancient signal telling you it's time to eat again, don't resent it. That feeling is the oldest part of you. It's the same force that built the entire human world. A plant will never feel it. A plant is finished, complete, standing perfectly still in its patch of light. You never will be, and that, in the end, is the whole point of being alive instead of merely growing.